بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. أما بعد فقد قال الله الحكيم في كتابه المبين وهو أصدق الصادقين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. مرج البحرين يلتقيان بينهما برزخ لا يبغيان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان يخرج منهما اللؤلؤ والمرجان. Today is the night of the birth of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam, and it is a very exalted night with lot of fadail, and no doubt that the greatest of all the shuhada, Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam, was born in the morning of 3rd of Shaban. Before I start with the sayings and the fadilat and the qualities of and the virtues of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam, I would like to talk a little bit about the pandemic which we have. During the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we have a pandemic in China, and that was Black Death, or known as Black Death. And because of that pandemic, the Silk Route, which passed through Arabia, got shut. But it did not reach the outskirts of the Chinese territory, but it was there. It was a pandemic. And now we have got this COVID-19 pandemic, and some of the most religious people and faithful people, they say that trust in God and do whatever you want. That is not right. Anas ibn Malik, one of the companions of Rasulullah, says that a person came to Rasulullah and asked him this question. He said, Ya Rasulallah, aqiluha wa atawakkal aw utliquha wa atawakkal. Should I tie my camel securely and then trust in God, or should I leave it free and then trust in God? So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied and said, Aqilha wa tawakkal. First tie your camel securely and then trust in God. So what we have to do is take the precautions according to our strength and then trust in God. So whatever precautions are necessary are wajib on us. Trust in God is really very nice, but after we fulfill our own duties. In regard with the pandemic itself, whether it is an azab of Allah, a wrath of Allah, or it is a cause which is surrounding us. So according to the hadith of Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam, he says, Aballah an yujril ashya illa bi asbab. Allah has refused to run the affairs of this world but through the theory of cause and effect. So everything has a cause and everything has an effect. فَجَعَلَ لَكُلِّ شَيْءٍ سَبَبًا. Allah has made a cause for everything. Everything. وَجَعَلَ لَكُلِّ سَبَبٍ شَرْحًا. And for every cause, He has made an explanation. Why did this happen? How did this happen? Cause and its explanation. Then وَجَعَلَ لَكُلِّ شَرْحٍ ilman. And then he has made for every explanation knowledge. So knowledge, explanation, cause is going to come like this. وَجَعَلَ لَكُلِّ ilm. And for every knowledge, Allah has made a door, a bab. And then Imam says that is a speaking door, one who can explain, give knowledge and everything. He said, whoever recognizes him recognizes, whoever doesn't, doesn't. Zalika Rasulullah. That is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And nahnu, and we Imams are the doors and the gates of knowledge. And you have the hadith of Rasulullah saying, Ana Madinatul Ilm wa Aliyun Babuha. Rasulullah has also given us hadith in regard with the diseases and sicknesses and their cure. And one of them is, he has said that the black seed or habbatus sauda or what you call Nejali Satvita, Satvi is the biological name. This habbatus sauda or the black seed, according to Rasulullah, is the cure for every disease except death. So if a single seed is in your stomach, other diseases will not attack. I would recommend that it's very small. I would recommend that you take 14 seeds. Count them 14, just swallow it with water and let it be in your stomach once or twice a day. The second thing Rasulullah said that whoever places the vinegar on the maida when he is eating on the dinner table or the lunch when he is eating, if the vinegar is just sitting over there, you're not eating it, you're just sitting over there, it is a cure from 70 sicknesses and illnesses. That means that vinegar, the smell of vinegar itself protects us from many viruses and bacteria. The third but not the least is recitation of Suratul Hamd 7 times. Is a cure from every disease except death. So just recite Alhamd 7 times. And for the protection, Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salatu wasalam has said that recite Ayatul Kursi 5 times every day. And the best time is after you finish Fajr, you recite Ayatul Kursi. After you finish Zohar, after you finish Asr, after you finish Maghrib, after you finish Isha. So 5 times Ayatul Kursi. And then those small surahs, Qul a'udhu bi rabbin nas, Qul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq, Qul huwallahu ahad, and Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun. This was in regard with the pandemic and with the reliance on Allah. Allah says in Surah Talaq, Ayat 3, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهِ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بَالِغُ أَمْرِهِ قَدْ جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدْرًا. The explanation is, and whoever is conscious of Allah, has taqwa of Allah, has conscience about Allah and dutiful to Allah, Allah will make a way for him to get out of the difficulties. And He will provide him for the sources he never could imagine. So He will provide you with the source to get out of the difficulty. And whosoever puts his trust and reliance on Allah, then he will suffice him. Allah is going to suffice him. You don't need anyone else. When you put reliance on him, he'll suffice. Verily, Allah will accomplish his purpose. Allah will fulfill his purpose. Indeed, Allah has set a measure for everything. Allah has set a measure. So much of water will be given, so much of air will be given. Everything is with a measure. And alhamdulillah, we, after taking precaution from everything, we have tawakkul on Allah, reliance on Allah, and may Allah protect us all from this COVID-19 virus and keep us all safe, inshallah. And now in regard with Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam, I would like to tell you that this is an Imam who has many things specifically special to him. First thing is that when he was born, he did not drink the milk of his mother. He was fed from Rasulullah, by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The second thing which is very specific with him is that when he was born, people usually are happy with the birth. But this birth of Imam Hussain alayhi salam made everyone sorrowful. The third thing is after Isa and Yahya, Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam was born 7 months old. Yahya was born 7 months old and Imam Hussain was born 7 months old. In his childhood, Imam Hussain alayhi salam again has those special virtues. He is with his brother Imam Hassan alayhi salam in many of the virtues, but which are very much specific for Imam Hussain alayhi salam was when Rasulullah was doing his salat, Imam sat on his back while doing the sajda. And Allah ordered Jibreel to go down and hold Rasulullah down in the sajda and tell him not to raise his head before Hussain gets off his back from his own will. You can just imagine that not only Rasulullah is ordered by Allah, Allah is also looking at the pleasure and the happiness of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So Rasulullah had to extend the sajda till Imam Hussain alayhi salam got off his back by his own free will. The other important virtue of Imam Hussain alayhi salam is at the time of his birth, 70,000 angels ascended, came down, descended from the heavens with the Sayyidul Malaika Jibreel. And when they were passing through that island where Fitrus was there, Fitrus asked them, so many of you are coming down. Has the doomsday come or what? Jibreel said, no, it's not doomsday yet. But a son has been born in the house of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to Fatima to Zahra. Now this Fitrus was there from the time of Nuh. And he had never requested Allah for anything. He had just accepted the azab of this world and he was going through with it. But now when he heard about Imam Hussain alayhi salam's birth, he asked Jibreel to take him along to the house of the Prophet. So Jibreel took the permission from Allah and took Fitrus to the house of Rasulullah. After they have given the glad tidings to Rasulullah and Mubarak to Rasulullah on the birth of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, Jibreel said, Ya Rasulullah, Fitruz has come. All his feathers and everything have been taken away from him, and he has come, and he is asking you to ask Allah to forgive him. Rasulullah prayed for him, and he said, yes, you have been forgiven. So when Rasulullah said he is forgiven, he looked at his wings and his feathers. They were not there yet. So Rasulullah looked at him and said, you just have to go and rub your body on the cradle of Hussain. So when he rubbed his body on the cradle of Hussain, he got back his feathers and his wings. And he flew from there saying, who can be like me? There is no one like me because I am Atiqul Hussain. I am the one Hussain has freed from Azab. The other important thing is that during his childhood itself, Imam Hussain al-Islam was loved by everyone. And mostly he was loved by his sister, Zainab. Even the mother, Fatima Zahra, salamullahi alayha, had to ask Rasulullah. So what is the reason that when Hussain is not home, she's always crying, and as soon as she sees Hussain, she is at peace and she is happy. Said, this is the sister of Hussain who is not going to leave him in any circumstances. That's why one of the names and titles of Zainab is Sharikatul Hussain. Sharikatul Hussain means the one who is a partner in the mission of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam. Rasulullah had also narrated a hadith saying that Innal Hussain Misbahul Huda. Hussain is the candle of guidance. Safinatun Najat. And he is the ship of salvation. When Rasulullah said this, one of the companions said, Ya Rasulullah, aren't every one of you the ship of salvation and the light of guidance? I said, yes, every one of us is such. But in regard with Imam Hussain alayhi salam, he says, Kulluna abwabun najat. Every one of us is the door of salvation. Wa babul Hussain awsa. The door of Hussain is wider. Wa kulluna sufunun najat. Every one of us is the ship of salvation, but the ship of Hussain is asra, is more faster than us. Hababa Walabiya came to Imam Hussain alayhi salam and he brought with her maybe her grandson. He said salam and sat down and said, Yabna Rasulullah, O son of Prophet, can you please look in the book and tell me whether he is one of your lovers or not? Imam looked at her and said, and looked at the book and said, his name is here. She was very happy. So we can just imagine that how much Baba Walabiya loved Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And she brought her son that I will care for him only if he loves Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam. A young child, a youth, lost his father. He was an orphan. The only support he had was his mother. And the mother also got sick. So there in town was a very expert tabib was doctor who had come over there. So this person also, this child ran to him and said, I've already lost my father, I don't want to lose my mother. So can you please give me a medicine for the sickness of my mother? This doctor had heard about the generosity of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So through this youth, he wanted to test Imam Hussain alayhi salam. He said, yes, there is a cure for the disease of your mothers, for the sickness of your mother, but I need the liver of a white horse. This boy was the lover of Ahlul Bayt. He had no other place to go. He went to Imam Hussain alayhi salam and started to cry. So Imam asked him, what is the reason? He said, my mother is sick and I went to this tabib and he says that the only cure for her sickness is the liver of the white horse. Imam ordered his slave to slaughter the white horse and give him the liver. So when he took the liver to the doctor, he looked at it. Oh no, I forgot. It was not actually the white horse, it was the black horse. So the youth came back to Imam again, started to cry. Imam said, what happened now? He said he had made a mistake and it was not white horse but black. So Imam ordered the black horse to be slaughtered and the liver to be given. So in this way, 7 horses were slaughtered for the sake of the liver. And then in the end, the tabib said that I was just testing the generosity of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam. And here is the medicine and your mother will be cured. Imam alayhi salatu wassalam prayed to Allah. And he asked Allah to bring back to life those 7 horses. So alhamdulillah, Allah heard his prayer and fulfilled it. The other important thing which is very necessary, that his generosity was to such an extent, even today, we will feel shy and ashamed to ask someone to give you something. But asking Imam Hussain alayhi salam to give you anything, we feel proud to ask him. So a person came to Imam alayhi salatu wassalam and he said, Yabna Rasulullah, I have killed someone and I have the diyat on me. Diyat means the blood money. I have to give 10,000 dirham and I don't have. So Imam alayhi salatu wassalam asked him why he has come to him. He said, I know the hadith of your grandfather where he says, if you want to ask anything from someone, ask from a noble person. And ask from a person who is Hafiz of Quran or who recites the Quran. Ask from a person who is beautiful to look at, so that he will give you. When Imam heard the hadith from this person, Imam said, no, Rasulullah also has told me something, told us something, that whenever you have to give someone something, give him according to the ma'rifat he has, according to the reasoning he has. So I'm going to ask you some questions. If you answer it, well and good. If you answer one question, I'll give you 1/3. If you answer 2 questions, I'll give you 2/3. If you answer all the questions, I'm going to give the whole amount to you. So I said, okay, ask me. So Imam asked him, which is the best action? Best amal? So he replied, Iman billah. Then he said, which is the best thing for najat, for salvation? He said, at-tawakkul ala Allah, reliance on Allah. Then the third thing, which is a good decoration for a man. He said he should have knowledge with endurance. Al-ilm with hilm. Then again Imam said, if he doesn't have that, then what? He said he should have wealth with generosity. He said if he doesn't have that too, then he should have sabr with poverty. He should have poverty, but with that patience also. He said if he doesn't have that, said if he doesn't have that, then a lightning and a thunder should strike him and he should die. So Imam smiled at him and he gave him the money and also gave him his ring. He said, you pay your whatever is on you, the debt, and this ring, sell it and take it as your sustenance. Mm-hmm. This is in regard with that. And the third, the other thing was, just look at his generosity in the way of Allah. Imam had a palm grove, and he had kept a slave over there, Safi. His name was Safi. So Imam went to his palm grove just to visit, and he saw his slave, Safi, eating, maybe lunchtime. So what he was doing was, he used to take the bread, break it in half, eat half, and throw the other half to the dog. So both of them were eating. After he had finished, he lifted up his hands and he thanked Allah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And then he prayed for the master of the palm grove. So, oh Allah, keep him safe and protected, and all his prayer. Imam came forward and said, "Oh Safi." He stood up immediately and started to shake. Said, "Calm down. Do you give me the permission to enter?" I said, "Yeah, this is your grove and you can come anytime." He said, "Pardon me, I have overheard you without your permission. So I just wanted to ask you, why are you feeding this dog?" He said, "Oh master, he works with me, he's a partner. I take care of the trees and he guards the whole palm grove. And on the other hand, when I'm eating and he's staring at me, I don't like it. So I give half to him and I eat half." Then the Imam said that I have, because of your thankfulness, I have freed you. I've freed you and I give you 2,000 dinars. He replied and said, "Okay, if you have done that, then at least allow me to take care of your garden and your grove." Imam said, "I had already gifted you that when I asked you the permission to come in. So I have already gifted you the grove. Just one thing you have to do is, these companions of mine who have come with me, make them your guest and feed them. On the day of judgment, Allah is going to honor you." So the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, they just needed a single excuse to free a slave. If they found it, immediately they freed the slave. A big sinner came to Imam. He was so much used to sinning. See, once is you sin once and you forget. The other one is you get into the habit of sinning. And to break that habit is very difficult. So this man was that one. So he came to the Imam and said, "Yabna Rasulullah, I have committed sin and it is very out of my power and strength to abstain from sins now. Admonish me." Imam looked at him and said, okay, do 5 things and then you can do anything you want. Said, okay. What is the first one? Imam alayhi salatu wasalam replied and said, La ta'kul rizqallah. Don't eat the provision from Allah and do whatever you want. Said, everything Allah has provided. So how, if I eat anything, it's from Him. Said, don't eat. Then you do whatever you want. The second thing is, ukhruj min walayatillah. Get out from the wilayat, from the world of Allah, and do whatever you want. Said, everywhere is world of Allah. Third thing is, search for a place where Allah cannot see you. And then do whatever you want. Said, no, there is no place where Allah cannot see me. The fourth thing is, when Malakul Maut comes to you to take away your soul, stop him from doing that. Said, no, I cannot do that. The fifth thing is, on the day of judgment, when the angel of Jahannam, hell, is putting you into the hell, stop him from doing that. Said, I cannot do it. Said, no, you cannot do these 5 things, then you shouldn't be doing and committing any sin. So may Allah bless you all and keep you all happy and safe from this pandemic, and with the grace of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam.